Hey everybody, it's time for another installment of Ask P-Row. Here's the question. What would Jesus say about cancel culture? Hey, we've all been there. Maybe you're joking around, you lose your temper, or just a momentary lapse of judgment, and you say something or tweet something you regret. What's the proper response to these things? Well, unfortunately today, that's not even being debated. The only response seems to be canceled. Before we get started, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell, because we're now putting out content at least once a week, sometimes twice, usually Tuesdays and Fridays, but that way you won't have to miss a single episode of Ask P-Row, and we greatly appreciate it. We're trying to get the word out. So here's a partial list of people or businesses that have been effectively marginalized, minimalized, demonetized, demonized, or shut down altogether for one reckless act or one uttered phrase or tweet. First up, J.K. Rowling, It Could Be Rolling, Harry Potter author. She dared to say the obvious about genders. Canceled. Luckily, she's too popular, didn't get canceled. Jimmy Fallon for a skit he did 20 years ago when 100% of the culture and environment was completely different. Doesn't matter. Canceled. Harold Oleg, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, when criticism surfaced towards Black Lives Matter over the militant insistence to defund the police. David Shore, an analyst at Democratic polling firm Civis Analytics, tweeted a study that concluded race riots reduced Democratic vote share. He was fired for pointing out this truth. A Los Angeles soccer team fired a player because his wife posted racist comments. Not him, his wife. Doesn't matter. Canceled. Michigan State pushed out a physicist when a Twitter mob from its graduate employees union labeled him a scientific racist. I don't even know what that is. What racist thing had the physicist done? He rejects the idea that scientists should categorically exclude the possibility of average genetic differences among groups, is how a Wall Street column explained it. I can go on and on. There's no shortage of people waiting in cancel culture line at the edge of the cliff. My prediction, most will just jump. There's no forgiveness from the cancel culture killers. In fact, even as I type this, one of cancel culture's supreme commanders and mountaintop gurus, Ellen DeGeneres, is herself hanging by a thread because a couple former employees didn't feel entirely loved at all times and completely valued in her presence. My prediction, sadly, she'll probably get canceled. Should this matter to you? After all, most of us don't have our own talk show or several Oscar award-winning movies under our belt that paid for our mansion and our yacht. But does this mean the cancel culture can't come for you? If you think that, think again. Cancel culture's favorite victims are those who throw up a roadblock in front of culture's funhouse. Heck, even a speed bump is worthy of calling out the cancel culture police. Just a tiniest little thing. However, it's seldom employed against those who rail against conservative causes, and almost never when the target is Christianity. In fact, I think a more accurate moniker for the movement might actually be cancel Christianity. At the same time, the Bible tells believers in the famous psalm, the most famous psalm probably of all, Psalm 23, that even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. Why? Because you're with me. In 2 Timothy 1:7, it tells us that God does not give Christ's followers the spirit of fear. Why am I telling you this? Because we shouldn't gauge what we do or say or don't do or say with whether or not we think it will get us canceled. John 10:10 tells us that Satan's pretty much the king of cancel culture. He's not even trying to hide it. John 10:10 is a unique verse because it has Satan's job description and then what Jesus came to do in the same verse. The thief's purpose is to steal, kill, and destroy. The thief is Satan, and canceling everything about Christ's followers is absolutely his aim. In modern speak, here's how it works according to the website Compelling Truth. I like the way they put it, kind of cuts right to it. Rather than being a new development, cancel culture is a natural outworking of a post-Christian culture that no longer affirms the values that spread when Christianity spread. I would say, more accurately, an anti-Christian culture. In essence, it has reverted to pre-Christian or non-Christian ideals, void of a Christian worldview. Non-Christian cultures almost always operate using an honor-shame dynamic. In this scheme, a person is judged entirely on whether society, meaning other people, approve or disapprove of them.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me. Right now, you like me.
What matters most is one's adherence to the collective view. All other issues are secondary. Those considered shamed or shameworthy are punished by others through exclusion, ostracizing, persecution, bullying, and even violence. Under the honor-shame system, these consequences are exactly what the guilty party deserves. That's what they really believe. In short, cancel culture is a social media-driven form of vigilantism, bearing no resemblance whatsoever to what Jesus would have his followers do. Just look at the rest of the second part of John 10:10 that I talked about. The first part is Satan's goal, the second half is Jesus' goal. Listen to what Jesus said. He said, "My purpose is to give life in all of its fullness." That's Jesus talking, and his commitment to his followers is the polar opposite of cancel culture. Does the Bible know nothing of this cancel culture mentality? Well, no, actually, God's word talks about a different type of cancel culture that's been around for a long time. One so thorough and all-encompassing that once it's executed, it eliminates the need for any form of the world's unbending and unyielding verdict in cancel culture. So I'm talking about when Jesus went to the cross as a perfect and sinless sacrifice for all of humankind and effectively canceled the debt of sin once and for all who believe. Colossians 2:14 says, having canceled the charge of our legal indebtedness, which stood against us and condemned us, he's taken it away. He nailed it to the cross. I like the way the New Living Translation puts it. It says he canceled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross. Friends, this is the opposite of what the trolls and cancel culture do. Instead of combing through years and years of tweets, Facebook posts, Instagram stories in order to accumulate a record of charges against someone for the purpose of canceling them, Jesus accumulated every record we have, including even our thoughts, and he took the blame on himself. 2 Corinthians 5:21 makes it clear that the sinless one, Jesus, became sin for us so that we could not suffer the consequences or be canceled eternally. So forgiveness, it ends up being a hallmark of Christianity. Without it, salvation would not even be possible. So perhaps it's no surprise that Satan would push the contrast of canceling the work and value and reputation of any accumulated good of any individual that gets in his crosshairs. I mean, what more efficient way could there possibly be to fulfill his purpose to kill, steal, and destroy? So the next time someone says something stupid, thoughtless, or ignorant, instead of initiating the cancel culture countdown on them, or even before seatbelting yourself into the cancel culture car, remember the debt Jesus canceled for you, and try forgiveness. I promise you'll be glad you did. This is Pastor Rob, or P-Ro as some like to call me. I'll see you next time, unless I get canceled.
Cancel.